Okay. Already being interrupted. Oh, never mind.
There it goes.
Here we are once again, and we are on Google Live because we can't do Locked and Loaded tonight.
Aww.
John evidently is having he's got something stuck in his ass and couldn't get it pulled out by now.
Piece of that Guidestones.
It might be. It just might be.
He didn't get away fast enough.
It might be a piece of Guidestone there. Yep, got some broken pipe issue.
That's what happens. Hang on. I'll check it before I go to bed and fill it.
Ooh.
Just doing a little favor for the neighbor, you know. Got to give her a little check and then fill it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Miles needs a prostate exam?
Free of charge. Yeah, maybe that's what happened. When the explosion took place, a small chunk of the Guidestone flew from Georgia to Maine and lodged in John Solar's ass.
It has to do the colon clean now.
It's a conspiracy theory, man. I believe it.
Okay, I'm not even. I don't even have the. I don't even have the Ebomi channel fired up on the other monitor. I'm just gonna stick with the chat room. We got Multi-Gunman. He says, "Hi, how's it going?" Oof. If I'd known you were here, I would have brought a revolver. But of course, we're on WokeTube, so if you as much as show it, they'll shut the show down. But evenings, Multi-Gunman, Rich, Mason Jar Mafia in the house. I'm assuming that's you, Wayne. Hey, apologize to Wayne. I was invited to a live show on Sunday, and I may or may not have been overserved.
A little inebriated.
I think while the show was, I checked on it while we were in the brewery view, and then after that things get fuzzy. But yeah, anybody hearing me say this, Mason Jar Mafia is an awesome group. I was addressed. I was given the you've got to come check out my boys by a lot of you on the gun side of it would know him as Muzzle First. Over in the Mafia, he's Redneck Ramblins, and he introduced me to Wayne and Tom, and they are absolutely a great bunch of people. And if you are looking for videos on how to make some of the tastiest hand sanitizer that you can get, you want to definitely check out Mason Jar Mafia. And I'm not sure if you can do that via the app or what I'm looking at through StreamYard. But when this goes live later, and of course anybody that follows me over on my other channel, and I probably should say this because I just realized that a good friend of mine for a long time, Paul from PA Brew News, was like left a comment in the in B&E's Patreon, and he was just like, "Did you get deleted because I can't find B&E brew reviews?" Yes, WokeTube deleted my other channel because they said that I was spreading false information on the election, and I was spreading false medical information because of the almost 10 years of my life was just deleted. My question for WokeTube is when all of us that have been labeled conspiracy theorists for the last couple of years, and it's all turning out to be true, I'm just wondering if you'll turn B&E brew reviews back on. So yeah, I created my new channel, Captain Dick Nozzle. and you kind of have to spell it all out as one word. I've been told if you spell it as Captain space Dick. It's Captain Dick Nozzle because it was the only way I could get it to work with silly YouTube's. So as I'm not paying attention, we've got multi-gunman. Here, that's worthy of sharing. We have my brother from another mother, Hector, 2AHD Cat, and he also has his Hector the Cat channel. Awesome friend, Hector. Unfortunately, I wish I wouldn't have said that while you're here for you to hear me say that. Matt Davis, another fan of the ill-fated, watch some dumbass stand in his basement and bitch about politics and review a beer. Matt, it's good to see you. I hope everything's going good with your wife. Kept her in my prayers. We've got Jarn, silly Jarn, as he's changed it to. He
My little buddy.
Jarn, let's just say that he's from across the pond, and even though we get along politically, I can't say we probably align. I mean, if you had the freedoms that we had, and someone took them from you, you would definitely be in the same camp as the rest of us. Douglas just shows up for everything. Douglas, I'm really wondering about the rest of your life, if there is such a thing. Two Feather, boy, you have not done a video in a long time, but I really always enjoyed his video because there wasn't a lot of talk. There was just tequila and shooting and a lot of good cinematography of Louisiana. I'm guessing Louisiana, hanging out in the old swamp, shooting shit. Blue Healer, another brother from another mother, going through. Blue Healer, I hope things are going better for you. Nothing like walking away from the last part of the best part of your life with the truck and a dog. Oh, and I think you got one horse too. So if you're just joining us, see we got 16 of you here live. We're just gonna hang out for an hour or so tonight over here. Can't do locked and loaded. John's having some serious piping problems at his house. And instead of doing nothing at all, I just kind of wanted to. Hang out here. Yeah, freedom, Jarn. If you came over here and enjoyed some of it, you'd probably battle with the rest of us to make sure you never lost it. Two Feather, yes. He is in Louisiana. Yeah, I got to ask you a question. They're in Louisiana, hanging out at the swamp. Do you have mosquitoes the size of pigeons? That's, with as much swampland and water, I mean, shit. Around here, I gotta be careful about things like, say, the wheelbarrow. You gotta make sure the wheelbarrow's flipped upside down if we have a rainstorm and the wheelbarrow gets a little skim of water on it. Next thing you know, mosquitoes are laying their larvae, and I can't even imagine what it's like in an area that's completely covered in swamps. Matt, that's good to hear. His wife is home and doing well. That's 1911 USA. How's it going, my patriot brother? You know, I enjoy the chat room. I mean, that's like we have literally had nights over at Locked and Loaded on Spreaker, and the whole premise was Oh, yeah, good. Oh, he's so lucky. He gets mosquitoes year round. We get them through a period of maybe 3 months, and life is miserable. I can't imagine the little bastards all the time. Salty, he's naked. There's a shock.
The mosquitoes in Louisiana are kind of like carrier pigeons. You can actually tie shit to their legs and it'll fly around for you.
Hell yeah. And in Arkansas.
God, we basically sit around with the candles and the bug zapper and whatever we have going, maybe wearing some repellent, and you sit there and wonder what is the life, what is the reason for a mosquito other than to feed a bat? I remember when me and Christine used to live out in Monolac, Minnesota, and my place was like, if you sat out on the, I remember one of the first times, I mean, considering where her house was, her house was when we started dating, in comparison to this place, at her house, sitting out on the deck, waiting for a car to come by was kind of like waiting for the next click of your watch. Meanwhile, out in Monolac, it was like, I think she grabbed a cup of coffee at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and at 7:30 a car went by, and she turns to me and goes, "Jesus, how do you deal with all this traffic?" There was sarcasm and comedy in there, but this place, I had one street light out on a pole at the end of my driveway, and so when you were sitting at the house, there was actually a couple of nights that sitting in the living room, no longer seeing that glow of the street light in my house, I thought maybe the bulb had burnt out. No, it was simply surrounded by so many bugs that it was blocking out the light.
Damn.
We had a lot of bats out there, and I understand why, because they could get their entire amount of food that they needed just by making probably one pass. So Hector supposedly had to run because he texted me saying that he's having lasagna tonight. Now, if it's around here, I'm telling you, that is a good night.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. You don't sit out at night here.
Okay.
No. You build a big fire, get the smoke, let the smoke scare them off, but most times mosquitoes just carry you away.
No, Jordan, up until recently, I hadn't really even seen shit for the United States of America. And I've had a conversation with Christine about that. And I actually, Douglas, that's a good question. I didn't involuntarily, I was clicking Jordan off and you got added automatically. I'll leave that up so I don't get sidetracked, like squirreled. Up until the great thing called YouTube, I had probably seen 1, 2. I know Michigan and Wisconsin really shouldn't count, but I'm putting them on the list. North and South Dakota, Kansas. I was in Kansas. So the short thing is I really haven't seen shit for the United States of America. And honestly, in my heart, before I start spending a bunch of money to go overseas. Now, I'm not saying if I had the opportunity where, say, Jerry said, we're taking a trip. I got a hell of a deal on airline tickets, and then once we get there, everything is provided by me because we'll be staying with family. Yeah, I would go to Ireland. But there's so much of this beautiful country that I want to see that I'd like to travel around. And me and John Huber, we were in Colorado, so everything from Minnesota, Wisconsin to Colorado for a competition shoot called Sniper's Hide. So I got to see some some pretty cool stuff in Colorado. And then last summer we went to go visit John for the very first time. So I went through Michigan, Ohio, into Pennsylvania. We spent a few days with Jerry, Pennsylvania. Absolutely, if you ever have an opportunity to see Pennsylvania, I mean, I wish they're you know, addressing the thing called the Constitution and the freedoms that our founding fathers set for us. I wish more of that existed there, but I could very happily move to Pennsylvania. And Maine, I thought Maine was awesome. John's hospitality was over the top. Getting a chance for the first time in my life to see the ocean, which I hate to admit this, kind of looked like walking to the edge of the rocks for Lake Superior, but it was called the ocean, so I really enjoyed that. Douglas, from what I mean, if we actually get to the subject matter tonight, the Georgia Guidestones, I've seen video footage of what looks like somebody carrying something rather heavy and then running away. I know they've shown some footage of supposedly someone driving away in a car. As far as I know, that investigation has gone nowhere. I saw the actual explosion, and the first opportunity I had to see the video, it was saying that it was a lightning strike. I was like, okay, I am not a professional, but I am guessing that the first time that Clyde saw the video, and I don't know about Johnny because Johnny was living under a Guidestone rock himself and didn't even realize it. But when you watch the video of the actual explosion and someone said that this was a lightning strike, I was like, come on. You are if lightning struck an explosive device, okay, fine, I'll give you. Someone just by accidentally dropped 500 pounds of tannerite, and then there was a lightning strike. I don't even know if that would even work, because is lightning supersonic?
Probably.
Probably, since it travels at the speed of light.
Probably.
But the question is, would it set off tannerite?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I wouldn't want to be standing there doubting that.
It would probably set it off and not hit it exactly.
I mean, the tannerite's not set off by the heat of the bullet. It's just set off by the impact of the round. So
yeah,
I guess
there'd be enough electrons flowing away from there. You wouldn't have to hit direct.
Probably.
See,
but it looked like to me that somebody shot it with a shoulder-fired weapon at first. I didn't even know there was video of someone who was walking up to it and then walking away from it.
Yeah, you can see the guy walk up to it.
Well, it wasn't me, Douglas.
Yeah, I was first thing when I found out the Guidestones had been bombed. I got in touch with Cobra and wanted to know if he had a alibi or not.
Does he need one?
Did you see Cobra's new video?
Yeah,
the one where he got that new
the bullpup chassis.
Yeah, and he didn't even congratulate me for telling him that he could get one. I showed him where to get it, and he's mean.
Oh, what a useless prick.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to just smack him.
See, here's my problem. I really, really want one of those chassis. The problem is I don't have anything to put in it. So see what the problem is here. But that chassis with the 10 millimeter high point carbine oh my God, I know it sounds strange, especially from a guy it's like pretty much knocked on high. Here's the thing about the high point. If you are just looking for something that you want to have that's dirt cheap, and I can tell you they're reliable. I've tried. Several people have tried to kill that pistol. As a matter of fact, that's right. I don't know if I could show it or not. Technically, it's a It's over there. Technically, it's a paperweight. We gave my brother-in-law a 45 ACP, and I believe the first time he cleaned it was somewhere around 10,000 rounds. And eventually, he completely lost track of how many completely lost track of how many rounds he had put through it. And I don't know if he had a round maybe with a defective case, but long story short, it blew the side of it apart. And if I showed it to you, it's technically and I've still been waiting to try to get a hold of someone at High Point, mostly my fault, because they have supposedly an awesome lifetime warranty, and I just want to get it replaced and get another one back for my brother-in-law because he absolutely loved the stupid thing, which that was fine with a gift. That when you give someone a gift and it turns out they love it, that's definitely a win-win scenario. But now I've had the opportunity to shoot I don't remember if it was the 9mm carbine or the 40 cal carbine, and other than the trigger, which for the most part, me being me, I would question the trigger on just about anything you hand me unless it had a custom trigger in it. And I was really impressed with it. I think even a stock High Point carbine is nothing that I would be embarrassed to own. And now that chassis that Cobra has, turning it into a bullpup is awesome. I mean, if I had money laying around that I could just spend on something right now, first I would start with the 10mm carbine High Point, and then I would get one of those chassis. So yeah, Clyde, that is a fantastic. I mean, what Cobra says, it only gets better when you open the box and hold it in your hand.
That's cool. I mean, anything would make them better. That High Point carbine, I haven't heard anybody complain about it. And then I watched all those videos of, what is that guy, Demolition Ranch or whatever, and he was trying to blow them up. Hell, he stuffed them full of concrete and everything else. You couldn't blow one up. I mean, I was slightly impressed after that.
Hell, Eric at Iraq Veteran 8888, they made a 10mm High Point, which oof, I almost lost consciousness when my penis filled with blood right there. They made a 10mm and then they tortured it and tortured it and tortured it. And one of the last things they did was actually I think they welded the end of the barrel shut on it, and they still didn't wreck it. So it's kind of hard to argue with that. Is it sexy? Is it something you'd want to EDC? No. Is it something that you'd want to put in a mount under the dash of a vehicle or, something like that? Hell yeah! But no, that chassis that Cobra got, that's making it one sexy deal. And I told him, I said, man, thanks for showing me this. And now I might. If it was possible to pull it off, of course, it would take a while. I'd maybe make it into something like I would call my plasma gun, because the only way I'm going to get it is by donating plasma. Hey, want to say hello in the chat room, not only to Mule, but Mr. 27 is in the club, and David Brown, and he says that he feels pretty.
Fuck you, David Brown.
No, yeah.
I saw the picture you sent me. That was mean, man.
You talking about the holster?
Yeah, that was mean.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
He gets all that custom shit because he's an important writer, or novelist, I should say.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's special like that. Now, as a critique mint, it's a sexy, custom-made leather holster that Clyde and me are talking about that David Brown got. But if I had, and I have holsters that are basically is like minimalist. I'm not exactly in the long range of long-term carrying. I'm not exactly sure how I feel. I like the leather holsters that I have that the gun is completely in it and the barrel's not hanging out the end where it's just going to be taking damage. But I guess a carry gun is taking damage, and I so 100%, David, don't feel like I'm knocking on you at all, because David's philosophy is get the best gun that you can afford and carry it. And he is not a fan of any plastic involved in a gun. And I honestly, I can't knock it. I used to feel like him, but there's so many like right now, I'm actually in my pajamas, and I happen to have the SAR 9, and that is 18 rounds of 9mm, and I have to edit the video and get it put together. Though I did a tabletop review and then shooting out at the range, and I was honestly shocked. I put a mag into that gun, put a live round into it, the first time that had happened, and I had a target at 75 yards and a target at 25 yards, and there was 18 tings, ting, ting, ting. It was almost to the point where not only was I like wondering if I just like looked over my shoulder and pulled the trigger, would it be like would the bullet guide its way to the steel on its own? And we are talking about a $300 pistol. If you want to go to Palmetto State and look for what Eric says is the best bang for the buck, it's the SAR USA SAR 9. It looks like you took an HK frame and put a Glock slide on it. And it is one of the out-of-the-box most accurate pistols. And I could not duplicate what I did with that PX9, another $300 gun. Comes with a holster, 2 mags. I mean, we're talking about, really, really decent setups for a $300 gun. Smile Money. Hey, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be on vacation. Just kidding. What do you say? Jamie was spent. Well, Smile Money. Yeah. You have to have dreams. Every time I put one of you guys up there, Johnny gets a chin strap.
It's cheaper to dream than it is to go get, ain't it?
Oh, heck yeah, Two Feather. When I was shooting the SAR 9, I blew the target. I blew a lung right out of the steel target. It was freaking amazing. White Space Marines. Yeah, again, I would love to say that the company sent me these guns to review and I get to keep them. Neither of those took place. I made a comment. I was talking with NIHAP the other night, and this was a no shit comment that I made to him, and I stand behind this. If I won a decent lottery, I would buy the SAR 9 in mass quantities, and if the world turned upside down, I'd hand them out like lollipops. And again, like I said, and the PX and the SAR are just the PX. If you're a fan of the XD Springfield XD series, it's so close that my XD holsters work perfectly for it.
Oh yeah.
J-Dog. Hey, J-Dog, have you ever wondered why it took so long for you to get the transmission fixed in your 1-ton, or why you don't have a functional motorcycle? Beretta. J-Dog got his Beretta today. And nice. Tomorrow it'll be another one. And the day after that will be yet another one.
We can never have too many guns, but
Oh.
you can have a motorcycle and a truck.
Well, yeah. I wish that he had a working motorcycle right now. So, just another riding buddy. This week sucked. I only got to take the bike to work one day, and that was today. I would have been able to take the truck or take the bike instead of the truck. Was it Tuesday? But I had stuff that I had to bring to work, and I could not get it in a backpack. It's amount of money. Maybe true. There is 2 lines of arguments. You can only use so many guns at any moment in time.
That's why you buy a high point, because that's the one you want to shoot them with. That way, that when the cops take it, you ain't got to worry about if you don't get it back.
Yeah, there is that. I was like, when people were questioning me, because a gun that I used to carry a lot, but I actually have to bring it back to the master and have at a bare minimum my mag release. It's got an extended mag release, and you don't want an extended mag release on a carry gun. I mean, if I just leaned over into the seat belt, I could just hear the mag pop out of the mag well. So I need to have a regular mag release put into it. And
I just bought a new 357 today.
You did?
Yeah. Bought another single action army.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. This one doesn't have a cylinder. It cost me $400 because it doesn't have a cylinder in it. So I have to buy a cylinder to put in it. That's probably about $135 to $200. But it's in the box, got papers and everything else. It's a 357. I'm gonna say.
Hello to Zeus. Yeah, Zeus, the Bell Hammerhead is the Buell Hammerhead is a pretty wicked looking motorcycle. Yeah, Rich says you might want to have more than 6 guns because family members have hands too.
Yeah.
Beard CB, hey brother, how's it going? Yeah, I never thought I'd actually sit here in front of a camera live on the internet and actually endorse High Point, but I mean, are they? They are what they are. They're an inexpensive, reliable gun, but the things that I've seen done to them, oh well. I mean, they may not be. I think for me, I think the biggest issue is the weight. I mean, it feels like it's made out of a cast iron frying pan, and the trigger leaves something to be desired. But like I said, I think their carbines are pretty awesome, and I know when you know someone that has a collection of firearms that would just make you go, damn. And one of the things that they enjoy in their collection is a High Point carbine. Enough said. Okay. So I guess when it comes to the Georgia Guidestones, some people actually might be shocked with my actual viewpoint on this. Did I agree with any of the stuff in there? It's like, come on. It's like, talk about communism, socialism, new world order bullshit. On the other hand, if I had the total control to back up time, would we be here having this conversation right now? We would not. Because the two most important things for me is those things written down is just documentation and proof of what the deep state new world order bullshit wants to do to us. I mean, Johnny, I don't know if you're looking up any of the stats on that because I can't remember even what it was. The world population was, they wanted the world population dropped below what some big cities in the United States are.
500,000.
The whole, that's the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they basically want somehow to get rid of COVID-19, somehow to get rid of large quantities of bearded CB, 500,000 there. So the world population to 500,000 people. Now, I always laugh because it was always good fun, especially watching Clyde's blood pressure race through his head whenever we talked about the Guidestones. But I thought it was for two reasons that no, I'm not gonna lie, just like I told Christine when someone sent me the link and I watched him blow up, I giggled. I'm not gonna lie, I giggled. I thought it was funny. But when I stopped to think about it, it was like they are erasing evidence of what they truly want to do to us. You know, and it's not just somebody that had the money that had this built that we don't know who they are, but it's a vision of what is going to happen if you don't take our country back and stop what is going on. Everything going on right now is, you know, it's a whole lot of it is, hey, look at over here. Here's the distraction. Well, we're over here doing something to you. But to lose our freedoms, you know, anybody, and this conversation has already struck close to home just today, discussing stuff like the AR-15 is a military grade weapon that we don't. Well, first of all, dumb fuck, the military never ever used an AR-15. So pull your fucking head out of your sheep ass. Stop listening to the bullshit media and maybe learn something before you get manipulated out of freedom. And the next thing you know, you're going to be sitting inside of a train on your way to a large oven. Because history constantly repeats itself. And right now, we're sitting right there, getting ready to do it all over again. But these people that get so they can't think for themselves. And that's what we constantly say when we talk about stuff over on Locked and Loaded. Use your brain. Don't believe me. Do some research. Look into it for yourself. Weapon of war? Give me a fucking break. If you're hearing me for the very first time, an AR-15 is a 22 caliber, and the shell that pushes it is one of the smallest of any caliber in a rifle. I mean, if you were to say to me, well, which one, if you couldn't have something, what's the one that you would give up? Well, first of all, go fuck yourself. That's my bottom line on that question. But if I had to give something up, you know, the 5.56 223 is borderline for hunting. If you're good, hell yeah, you can take. I mean, in Minnesota, it was actually something that we couldn't use for deer hunting. Now you can. But the bottom line is, all these people that, oh, it's a weapon of war. Well, guess what? If it's a weapon of war, that means we can have it. Because our founding fathers wanted us to have anything that a tyrannical government could use against us. And anyone that thinks that, oh, firearms are just here for hunting and nobody needs 30 rounds for hunting, well, guess what? I have an AR-15 and it is not for hunting animals, but it is for hunting. So we'll just leave it at that.
I use my AR-15 for hunting, but with a 30-round mag in it, I don't have to worry about anybody coming up and stealing what I'm hunting, or anybody coming up running me off, or anybody trying to kill me in the fucking woods when I stumble on one of those meth labs.
Exactly. And a lot of times, when people say, I've had this over the years. Well, why, on a carry gun, technically all you really need is one shot. How do you know that? How do you know that? What about the guy that was at the mall when the 3 terrorists showed up with AK-47s? It's like, okay, let me tell you this. I enjoy carrying a gun, but let's just say it's a hot day and the gun is just, whatever. If I was psychic, I would carry that gun just on the day that something bad was going to happen. But because I'm not psychic, I carry one every single day.
Now you look at it, if you shoot a person one time, wherever the shot placement is, the chances are you're not going to kill him. You're going to have to continue to shoot him until there's no threat involved. And people don't understand that it ain't Hollywood. You can't just throw up and shoot somebody or stab them or whatever else and they're going to fall over dead. It doesn't work that way. The human body doesn't work that way. And that's why they didn't make a gun, or why when they made guns with one shot, they put like a heavy butt on it or a heavy pistol grip on it so you could beat a sumbitch to death with it like a club, because you'd shoot somebody once and they'd be coming right at you. It's that Hollywood thing. Everybody thinks that one bullet, that one shot, one kill or whatever else. Hell, they don't talk about those snipers who shoot those guys and it takes them 3 days to die.
So, no, I 100% agree with. Oh, sorry, squirreled again. Again, I won't mention any names to protect the stupid, but I may have had a video out the other day where I had some Utes out. I had some Utes shooting. The mother, somebody related to the mother of one of the Utes had a tizzy fit because one of the Utes was shooting my Project Overkill. And if you don't know what Project Overkill is an AR-15 chambered in .22 long rifle.
It's so much fun.
No problems. There was no problems or issues about him shooting the Ruger 1022 that Dad built for him, but a tizzy fit over shooting a weapon of war. I was like, boy, I truly hope you didn't have. I hope you didn't get tongue-tied and you let the sheeple understand that both of them shoot the exact same thing.
Maybe backwards.
I'm just. Sorry. Keeping
The Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Always carry one of them with you. Always.
I wish our government officials not only carried it, but I wish they would stick with what they swore when they put their hand on the Bible and swore to uphold the Constitution of the United States. I personally think, first of all, we should have term limits. I'm sick and tired of these Neanderthals that get in there and stay in there forever. So first of all, we could remedy a lot of things with term limits. Second, I think they should be injected with an explosive device against their carotid artery. And the moment that they turn against the Constitution of the United States, their fucking head goes off. You want to see people uphold the Constitution of the United States?
Yeah.
I can guarantee you these fuckers would. I'm pretty sure we could get funding for this too. The 2 Utes. That's right. 2 feathers. The 2 Utes. You ever seen the movie My Cousin Vinny?
Yeah.
One of the greatest movies ever.
Yep. Eric, is your biological clock ticking?
Yeah. Biological clock. Bearded CB says that Donut operated a vid, a guy that had a mag dumped on him, and then he got up again.
Oh yeah.
Well, you make a big enough guy and use enough drugs, and they just don't know they're dead. And how much bad stuff can they do before they are finally put down?
When your head is severed, your body's still moving. It's the same with a snake. It's the same with just anything. I mean, the body doesn't know what to do, and it's just wiggling and jiggling, but it's still moving. There's still something of you that remains. It's strange to say it, but yeah, if you shoot a person, chances are they're not going to just drop like that. And especially if you're using full metal jacket ammunition. I mean, it's not a hollow point. It doesn't set up that much hydrostatic shock. I mean, you use a good hollow point round, and the hydrostatic shock will kill a damn deer like that, or a human.
And yes, Two Feather, the muzzle loader is a weapon of war. I mean, you want to get down to it, and of course, you get some of these weak-minded politicians. They actually go, this was Obama actually. Our founding fathers could never have anticipated the change in technology. Our founding fathers
didn't care.
Our founding fathers were some of the brightest individuals that ever lived, and they fully understood exactly what we are going through today because they were going through it. That's how this all started. And yes, that is the most important thing. Great comments. Thanks for coming and joining us.
The thing that gets me is they talk about the muzzleloader and they talk about all that shit. But if you think about it, they say, well, they didn't have any automatic weapons or semi-automatic weapons or anything like that. But I think it's called the puckle gun or the pucket gun or something like that. It was just a gun that went boom, 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 boom. And later on in the early 1800s, they had volley guns that shot like 16 barrels at one time or more. So don't give me that bullshit that a muzzleloader is a military weapon or the military weapons this, that, or the other. The militia had to use them because we, as the people of America, we didn't have enough weapons to supply everybody. Hell, the French had to give us ours. And so most people would just use their squirrel gun. Like you're saying, their 22 or their 32 caliber squirrel gun. And yeah, they were rifled and they were more accurate than a volley fired Brown Bess or a Charleville or something like that. But it's the truth. I mean, they made weapons of war, but the weapons that most people like me, you, and everybody else used weren't weapons of war. They were just our hunting rifles. And you're probably going to see a hell of a lot of that in the future.
Oh, you want to see a weapon of war? You keep pushing, and you'll see Independence Day 2, and you'll see the guy down the street that has his grandfather's pick a caliber, and that now is going to be a weapon of war. Because, and never forget this, you, me, we are the militia. We are exactly what our founding fathers had envisioned.
This is the reason this country has never been invaded since the War of 1812 when the British tried it again. It's because the American people are so well armed that we could put down any type of invasion. We don't even need the military. I mean, we could use it, and there's a lot of great people in the military. But tell you the truth, once you involve the people, if you start killing the people or taking away the people's rights and trying to put people in a prison camp, there's going to be a hell of a lot of dead bodies in the street, and they're all going to be liberals. They're not going to be gun owning, straightforward American patriot citizens.
See, this is a debate that me and John Solar, and I think it's been a topic of discussion in a Locked and Loaded before, but he's like, he just doesn't see that day ever coming, because that would mean, let's just say, Clyde, that your son was a sheriff and Johnny Watson's dad was, I don't know, head of the pick a branch of something, and they got the orders that they were supposed to go start collecting the firearms. So now Johnny's dad has to go to Johnny's house to get Johnny's guns. I just don't see it happening. Clyde's son, ding dong's got to go to dad's house because he knows dad has guns. I just don't, John was like, I just don't see it happening. And I also see a lot of, even us, in YouTube have friends that are sheriffs or marshals or whatever that have flat out said, if that day ever comes and I am given the order, I am here to tell you right now, our entire department will stand with the citizens of the United States of America, and we will never, ever go to someone's door to try to take their Second Amendment rights away from them.
As long as you can legally have it and legally own it, or legally have a concealed carry permit, our sheriff has never denied a single one, and he never will. He's just like the rest of us. He's one of these good old boys who grew up and he became a police officer and then eventually a deputy, and now he's the sheriff. And the sheriff, people don't understand this, but in every state, in every county in the United States of America, the sheriff is the highest law enforcement officer there is. Even if there's a U.S. Marshal standing there, he still has to take orders from the sheriff, because the sheriff is in charge. Now the feds come in and they're like, we're going to take over this or take over that. And they let them because they have resources and they can do things like that. But the sheriff is still the most involved SOB I know of, And as far as I can tell, in the southern states, you ain't going to have any problems with the sheriff or anybody else coming to get your guns, especially the damn National Guard, because they're all just us,
It's like, I just realized I can talk for about 5 seconds about the Guidestones and then 20 minutes on. But okay, so before, in the two of you can voice your opinion. But number one is what I liked about the Guidestones. And now again, like I said, I giggled and kind of smiled a lot when I saw the explosion. And then I was like, even like, holy shit, when I saw the digger knocking what was left of them down. I thought for sure that they'd have another stone up there by the end of the week to replace the damaged one instead of knocking it all down. But so number one is it's a reminder of what they truly want to do to us. Even though it was one rich guy that paid to have this, he is definitely speaking for a large group of people that believe in the one world order, where they have total control over all of us, blah, 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 what they say. And of course, you'll never own a gun under that scenario. And number two is that town. I do feel bad for them. That small town, that was their bread and butter. And I'm sure there's probably already plans on putting
build back better.
Yeah, they're gonna build back better. I mean, I'm surprised that the bumbling fuck stain known as Obama, I'm sorry, Biden, went in the see, that's who would actually be making the comment. The retard would be the one standing there delivering part of it. I'm surprised that Obama hasn't come out and said that this is terrible, and the government really needs to get involved, and we need to build this back.
Well, being he's from Kenya, he could definitely read it because part of it was in Swahili.
David says here in Minnesota that the county coroner outranks the sheriff. I did not know that.
But not in law enforcement. He only outranks the sheriff when it comes to murder investigations or something like that.
Zeus says, did anyone notice the yellow smoke in the video? So Zeus, what does that tell you? That it's a clue as to what kind of explosives were used? Asking for Johnny. But yeah, I think for me the number one thing is what I think is funny is here's a guide to what the New World Order would like to do to us, and it's busy putting a small town on the map, and it's lifeblood financially for this small town. Hey, you socialist piece of shit commies! That's what's called capitalism. So yeah, I feel bad for the small town. I mean, and I have mixed I have mixed feelings on the whole thing. It was like, hey, wait a second, that told everybody what these kooks really want to do to us. So if you stand there and look at them in awe, you Jules, Island gal, hello Jules, hello Minnesota, how is Guam?
Howdy from Arkansas.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Jules has been sending me pictures of Guam, and I'm jealous.
Yeah, Guam is so beautiful. Yep.
A bad day is 82 degrees and partly sunny.
And they still got all the bars open, and you can go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact you can walk across the whole country in a couple days or less.
Well, it's what is it? It's fairly narrow one way, but the other way is.
Yeah, my fat ass ain't walking anyway.
And you got to be careful about how many people go to one side of the island. It's liable to tip over.
Yeah. Zeus says maybe it was some kind of a reactive target. I guess it's possible that they placed it and shot it.
Could have.
I mean, I'm here to tell you that when they were in business, In the Red made a low velocity charge, and 15 pounds of that was more reactive, wink wink, than 50 pounds of the regular product. But I am here to tell you it was pretty impressive when we filled up a 5-gallon bucket and shot that. Thanks to that, we didn't get to shoot the next day because the neighbor a quarter mile away had shit fall off their walls, and they said they'd call the sheriff if they had to deal with that the next day.
I was so bummed, too, because I didn't get there till after that day.
I know. We should have probably never... See, we just wanted to go up. A few of us went up ahead of time, and we tried a 25-pounder. I mean, we had, 400 pounds of...
A lot.
Yeah, we had a lot. There's pictures of Miguel holding a Century Arms 308 over his shoulder like he's in a third world country. And on my dining room table, it just looks like bag after bag of cocaine. It's just it's a pretty
it was a tannerite.
It wasn't?
No, it couldn't have been because it's made up of oxidizers. It's made up of oxidizers and fuel, primarily aluminum powder, that is supplied as two separate components and that are mixed by the user. The combination is relatively stable when subjected to forces less severe than a high-velocity bullet impact, a hammer blow, the product being dropped, or impact from a low-velocity bullet or shotgun blast will not initiate a reaction. It is also designed to be non-flammable. The reaction cannot be triggered by a burning fuse or electricity, although its explosion can ignite flammable material. Pardon me.
Well, you saw the guy. If you saw the video of the guy running, it looked like he. It didn't look like he was necessarily struggling, but he definitely looked like he was carrying something of some weight. So, I mean, how do you know that it wasn't maybe 100 pounds of reactive target, and they shot it from wherever the hell this car was?
Well, I mean, that's possible. But I would say it more than likely was like homemade. You know, it's not very hard to homemade some things that go boom. So it was probably, you know, it could have been just a bag full of pipe bombs, you know, filled with black powder and stuff. You pack it down in there tightly enough and set it off, it'll make a hell of a crater. Or somebody told me that anyway.
David, Tactical Wingnut, how's it going? Of course, if the reports or anything come out, they'd be able to tell by the residue.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have to admit that tannerite can be pretty impressive in large quantities. I put 10 pounds under a DeWalt table saw down at the berm, and we never did find 50% of the saw. In the video, you just see it leaves it so quickly leaves the scene. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with, if anything at all, and they're already saying.
There's a kid in a bunch of M80s.
Black dog?
Big, huge bricks of black cats.
Yes.
That's what it was.
You just take a bunch of black cats and duct tape them?
NO2.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Hey, all you need is sparklers. All you need is some sparklers.
If they did damage to it like that, it's probably ammonium nitrate.
Take you about 1,000 sparklers and wrap them nice and tight, duct tape. Light one, let it roll into the others. Set it under something, and it'll blow the shit out of everything.
Of course, they're already saying whoever it is facing a minimum of 20 years for damaging a state park.
And they're also facing charges from BATFE because it's illegal to blow up shit without a license.
Hey, you never know. They may have a license.
I don't.
That's why you don't blow shit up that people know about.
Other people just tell me about it.
See, I think it's a conspiracy. I think John's not here, maybe because he's running from Georgia.
Could be. He could have went from Maine to North Carolina and then right across to Georgia and then right back to North Carolina.
And now he's cleaning out his pipes.
Yeah. And Amanda's going to be his alibi.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why John isn't here.
That's right. Now we figured it out.
Uh-huh.
Tannerite and coffee creamer make a hell of a fireball.
Yep.
Okay.
Coffee creamer and fire make a hell of a fireball.
Okay, Wingnut, I want to see that on a video.
Oh, yeah. I just want to know why he did it.
What makes him think? What would make you think to mix those two?
Well, I'm just blowing up the stump, and I figured I'd set it on fire while it was flying through the sky.
Yeah.
Two feather, yeah, they'd probably get out of it. All they have to do is say that they're part of BLM.
Yeah.
Say, oh well, shit. Okay, okay, good day. You guys have a good day. It's cool. It's cool. Hey, well, either two of you have anything else to add? Other than that, I'm tapped out for multiple reasons. First of all, tomorrow is also a very, very early day for me. So,
Yeah, we can keep it to an hour.
Going riding or to the range?
Pouring a slab for a 28 by 36 foot garage.
Oh, shit.
Damn, that's awful nice of you.
Yeah. I don't think I was asked. I think I was just told to show up.
Voluntold, huh?
Yeah, I was voluntold.
You sound like you've been in the military.
They better at least provide the beer or something.
At 6:30 tomorrow morning, or
Hell yeah.
That's the best time to start.
come on, you can't drink.
2 times a day to drink, and that's daytime and nighttime. So
You can't drink beer that time in the morning. That's why they created Bloody Marys.
yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Hey, just put the tomato juice in the beer. See?
Okay. Well, thanks everybody that showed up to come over here tonight. We will probably have more information, and because the plan was to discuss this on Locked and Loaded tonight, but okay, let's just take an extra week to get some. Maybe by the end of the week. I mean, the way this goes, they'll have somebody in custody within. I'm surprised they don't already, actually, with how important the Guidestones were. So, otherwise, next Friday, that is the plan, is to have a repeat of this, and maybe we'll have more information as to what was used and who was used, and all the above. So, again, everybody, I want to say thanks to everybody that showed up in the chat room. Always good when you guys are here and interacting, as always. And I'll say good night to everybody, and we'll hopefully Christine will be able to do the Ms. Bomey Zone tomorrow. Hopefully. So, okay, guys. Night. Cheers, and stay safe.